Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, planet, galaxy, universe. Welcome to this Thursday's edition of Harmonize2Energize. My name is Terry Matthews. I've been presenting Harmonize2Energize, which basically gives an opportunity for completely new novice people and more experienced practitioners of the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU the opportunity to practice some self-help and to discuss and share information and insights. And more recently, I've had a look at modalities with overlapping connections. It's my great pleasure today to have a good friend who some of you probably know, and those of you that don't. This is Lisa Gritton from San Diego, and she is our special guest. I could say all about you, Lisa, but you can talk now.
Thank you
Say
for
hello.
inviting me, Terry.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here, and I I look forward to this time together. I've been able to really focus and contemplate the safety energy lock number 6 in the last few days, and it's been a wonderful gift to me. I've been enjoying it a lot, so I'm happy to be able to share this little journey with you.
Yeah, so for those of you that wondered what this SEL Safety Energy Lock 6 is, those of you completely brand new, it's part of the rich tapestry of the energy field of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. And JIN SHIN JYUTSU is an art of harmonizing life energy or prana, a life force, as it moves through our energy fields and in our body, surrounding us, within us. There isn't actually, well, there is boundaries, but they're very, they're tenuous. And this energy percolates through the body in pathways, and it can be regulated by what we call safety energy locks, and which Lisa alluded to, safety energy lock 6. There's 26 safety energy locks, left and right of the spine, and 3 in the arms. And when we're out of harmony with our energy field, normally because we're thinking, speaking, and acting in a disharmonious way, these energies, these pathways, and these energy locks, they dysfunction basically. But we can harmonize them by placing the palm of our hands, the
Do you
finger,
ever muzzle them?
the thumbs. Please mute
Like when you
yourself.
take them places, do you ever have to muzzle them?
By placing them on these safety energy locks, we can harmonize and recalibrate the energy so it moves through the energy field more congruently. Yeah, could everybody make sure that they are muted? If not, I'm going to. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to unmute you, Lisa. Yeah, good. All right, so it's back to Lisa. Now I get a break.
So would you like me to introduce Safety Energy Lock 6? Is that where we're at, Terry?
Yeah, I've done the intro
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So as Terry was saying, we have 26 keys to unlock these 26 safety energy locks that we have on the body, 26 on each side of the body. Each one of them has a deep, powerful, universal meaning. And as I said, I've been enjoying meditating and contemplating the meaning of this and the significance of Safety Energy Lock 6. So Safety Energy Lock 6 is associated with balance and discrimination, the opposite of fear. Located in the arch of the foot. Terry, would you like to show the screen share and show where that's located on the foot? So right there in the middle of the arch.
Do you want the actual slides to be part of a slideshow here?
Actually, no. Maybe I just wanted to show so they could, know where the location that I'm referring to.
Okay.
And so maybe you can take that back off if you like.
Well, that'll bring the next one up,
Okay,
which also shows
right.
where it is. We'll leave that one there. It's not, can everyone see that reasonably well? Yes, great, fantastic, good, thank you.
So located in the arch of the foot, it is the structure that enables us to maintain a balanced position in the world. It connects us with the earth and promotes upright posture, both physically as well as morally and ethically. With a straight spine, we find inner balance and hone our faculties of discernment and judgment. Safety Energy Lock 6 allows us to balance universal inspiration with practical groundedness. It releases and receives the light, bringing balance and harmony to our total being by rooting us to the earth. Safety Energy Lock 6 harmonizes our renewing, reproducing, assimilating, and eliminating functions. It relates to mediating intelligence and has been called the mind specialist, the body alignment specialist, and the total body balancer. Safety Energy Lock 6 releases tension in the chest, soothes digestive discomforts, and can be used to clear tension in the back and hips. It governs respiration in the lungs, shoulders, arms, and hands. It helps spinal, pelvic, and knee conditions, as well as shoulder and arm pain. It aids dizziness, ear conditions, and tinnitus, also known as ringing in the ears. It can help harmonize foot projects, including flat feet and high arches. It harmonizes our sense of balance on all levels, helping us to gain equilibrium. Safety Energy Lock 6 is the great balancer. It helps to balance our breath, our masculine and feminine energies, and our sense of inner balance, harmonizing fear and worry. The 6 brings understanding. 6 is also the harmonizer of the 4th depth, releasing tension and fear. 6 is the positive expression of the 4th depth, the opposite of fear. 4th depth is the bridge from the physical or manifested body to the etheric or energetic body. Safety Energy Lock 6 is in the 2nd depth circulation pattern, which is responsible for harmonizing the respiratory system, clearing the mind, and keeping the skeletal system in balance. As we have mentioned, holding, or actually we haven't mentioned yet, as we will mention, holding the middle finger will help Safety Energy Lock 6. The color associated with this Safety Energy Lock is 6 is orange. The planet is Venus, the harmonizer and balancer of relationships, and the associated tone is D. The law of the universe is to live in balance, giving and receiving equally in every expression of our being. Our first and our last interaction with the 6 comes as we experience the breath of life, our inhale and exhale. Physical balance is manifested in health, good health. Mental, emotional balance is manifested as happiness, and spiritual balance is experienced and manifested as peace and harmony.
Wow. Wow. That's huge.
Any questions on the location of the 6 or anything about the Safety Energy Lock 6?
All quiet on the JIN SHIN front.
I'll ask a question.
Go right ahead.
So the location is it actually on the sole side? Is it on the side of the foot or on the sole side of the foot?
That's a very good question. It's both. So the sort of classic 6 is sort of on the inside of the foot, on the sole, but then we call the deep 6 more toward the center of the sole of the foot, right in the highest part of the arch. Wouldn't you say that's the case, Terry?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. And Terry, I notice you have these sort of affirmation, possible declarations that are really
Right,
beautiful going with
right.
this.
Yeah, so as many of you who've been following along for the past 6 or 7 weeks will know, I've been working with the message aspect of the safety energy locks and suggesting how you can come up with your own message or your own declaration as you experience and connect to the energy of that safety energy lock. And as Lisa has already expressed all the different aspects of Safety Energy Lock 6, I've narrowed down to maybe half a dozen or more down there. But can you all see that on the slide? Or is it too faint? I think you can see the declarations okay, yeah? Someone say something, please,
Yeah, I
please.
can see them just fine.
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
I can't see them at all. Where are they?
Really? Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'm going to read through them. So as Lisa pointed out, one of the major roles that Safety Energy Lock 6 plays in our body is to give us balance and discernment, which brings understanding. In a word, grounding. So possible declarations, top left, I am grounded and balanced. Well, that's arguable, but that is a possible declaration. 2, discriminating and seeing clearly overcomes my fears. I borrowed that from Walter Rodriguez. And number 3, I stand upright in life. Now, as I often suggest, choose a declaration that feels expansive to you, and we can connect to our heart. If none of those declarations make you feel expanded, connect to your heart. You can hold the 26 with the 22, or the 13 with the middle 15, or the 4 with the 13. However you want to connect to your bus line chest energy, do that right now. Close your eyes, breathe out, and we'll just do a few exhalation inhalations so that you can relax into a space where some kind of intention or declaration naturally surfaces within your heart. As soon as it comes into your heart, there should be, could be, might be a feeling of expansion. That's the one. That's the one you want to work with. So here we go. And as we breathe out, we're breathing from the 4, which is the occiput, never mind, occiput, all the way down the front of the body through the 15 to the 7, and from the 7 back through the 2 to the 4. Let's do this just 3 times. Here we go. And I chose 3 so that we connect the 3 major pathways at the unmanifest level, the supervisor, mediator, main, central. And that is the deepest level at which our message can come from, and is most likely to be the message that will serve your energy field the most. So if you've got an affirmation, intention, declaration, wonderful. If you haven't, wonderful, because we'll begin some practices, and then maybe the declaration will come then. So no panic, no worry. If it hasn't arrived, you haven't chosen one, it may come as we go along. And we're going to subdivide the practice. I'm going to offer the first two practices which relate to what Mary shows in Self-Help Book 2. And then Lisa will show you some practices with Safety Energy Lock 6 from textbook 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if I could interject, Terry, I wanted to share that Terry and I were talking about these affirmations, and really anything about balance, body, mind, and spirit. He's got 3, and we were thinking about the practice of the 36 breaths, and maybe contemplating each for 12 breaths, or if you have, you know, more. If you have more affirmations related to balance, you could practice them in your daily sort of aware 36 breaths. Maybe holding a safety energy lock, either the 6 or something that helps to balance the 6. As simple as middle finger. Anyway, back to you, Terry.
I'd quite forgotten that discussion. Anyway, let us begin with the middle finger. And you can have a choice. This is good. Thank you, Lisa. This is good. You can choose whether you hold left or right middle finger, of course. Left will relate to the exhale more and to the past, if you like, your ancestral line. And the right middle finger will relate to here and now. You can choose, especially those of you that haven't come up with a declaration, to go between 12 or 9. Your choice. Here we go. I'm going to choose my left. You can place the whole of your hand around the finger like this, and then just rest it in your middle 15 over the pubic bone area. Close your eyes, keep your back as straight as you can. That's because the main central exists within the spine, and it needs the straightest approach so that it can reach where it needs to go as efficiently as possible. And then we're going to just breathe out. And as we breathe out, we move the energy from head to toe. And as we breathe in, we receive the breath from toe to head. And then just notice what's happening with your middle finger. And we'll do that for 9 or 12. I'll take it to 12, just in case there are some 12s. But if you finish at 9, that's fine. Here we go. Ew. So it's when you breathe in, when you receive the breath, that you receive the message. Your heart is a receiver and transmitter of information. So as you inhale, receive that declaration from and to your heart. JIN SHIN JYUTSU is a heart art. It's an art of compassion. And we live, move, and express our energetic being in JIN SHIN JYUTSU with that frequency of compassion. Ideally. And 6, of course, will allow us to ground that. And being it's on the feet, notice as you exhale, are your feet grounded? Are you connected to Mother Earth?
Do we have anyone here today for the first time who has no experience with Jin Shin Jyutsu?
Someone wrote to me, but I don't know that they're actually here.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to mention that whether you've been practicing for years or you're brand new, when you're holding a safety energy lock, you're just tuning in and becoming aware of that pulse, that universal pulse flowing through your body.
So if you have a declaration, just allow it to percolate, not just within the heart, but beyond, around, above, below, 360 degrees. Head to toe, skin to bone, toe to head.
And isn't balance what Jin Shin Jyutsu is all about? Um, Keeping the body in harmony and homeostasis and balance in spirit, mind, and body. So really, safety energy lock is the perfect, encompasses that completely and totally. Balance in all ways.
So you may have reached 9 exhalation inhalations, or you may not, and you may be continuing to 12. Sometimes when you do this kind of practice, the message may change. Again, don't worry. Obviously, support a positive, harmonious message. If it's a nagging doubt, worry issue, exhale. You don't want those kinds of messages to percolate through your energy field. They will disharmonize. They will affect your cellular integration, breathing, development, every aspect of your being. So aim for the harmony, look for the harmony. Okay, so the second practice that Mary shows, how did we get in there? The second practice that Mary shows is the 15 with the 3. And so you can choose left or right. My left hand is going in my left 15, and my right hand is going on my right 3. 15, if there is any new people, is in the groin. You can see it there on the diagram. And 3, just put your opposite arm over your opposite shoulder. Go towards your spine, 3rd thoracic vertebrae, and pull away slightly. It's normally a little tight there. This is the door that we need to keep swinging open. This is the immune system controller, booster, benefitor relationship harmonizer. Very important. Some would say it is the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Some will say Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Whatever it is, the three representing the binder of energy within our system.
Terry, could you put the diagram up so I could copy it or see it?
It's up.
I don't see it. I just see pictures of everybody.
Oh, something with your system. Can everybody else see the diagram?
Yes, I think we have to be in speaker view in order to see the screen, the shared screen.
Really? Is anybody else having problems seeing? No? Yeah, something.
That didn't work.
Yeah, there's something with
On
your,
everything.
yeah, something with your system there. Hopefully you can see the replay, but basically, Tom, it's a 15 and a 3.
Yeah, I got that one, but I was trying to get them all my.
Yeah, well,
Memory.
you will have the others because they're in textbook 2.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe something going on.
Textbook 2 or book 2?
Oh, well, book 2, self-help, we're on now, but the next 2 exercises come from textbook 2.
Okay,
right.
thank you. Thank you, Terry. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
So if you don't mind, Terry, I would like to just talk about this innate and beautiful art, practicing it in ways that you can just listen to your body. You can be methodical and do the right side and then the left side or whatever. But I like to encourage people to try both because one of them is going to feel a little bit more comfortable, more natural. And I would go with that. That is your body's innate ability to receive harmony. And I really enjoy watching the animals at the zoo practice it, watching babies, even in utero, on the ultrasound, practicing this art. It's the most natural thing in the world. So I invite people to try different sides and see which one is calling out for a little help. That it just feels more natural, more comfortable.
So feel that connection with that 6. And a sense of how grounded, connected to the earth you feel. Don't worry if it doesn't feel grounded. Just be aware that maybe that's an area that you need to practice more with. And as Lisa said, you can choose left or right. That's something that you can experience by experimenting. And I don't know about you, but I know when I'm grounded. My mother used to do it all the time. You feel the feet are like magnets. And they're
That's an
like,
interesting choice of words.
yeah, so no.
We called it restricting, being restricted when I was a child, but it's actually kind of nice. I'm going to give you a timeout so that you can get yourself grounded, you know.
That's
I
right.
thought of it that way, but it's kind of nice.
That's right. Yeah. My mum was a great gardener. She would go out into the garden barefoot And that's something I would encourage everyone who has any issues with grounding. Walk around your house barefoot, go out into your garden if you got one. Wear socks if it's hot, but basically connect, if you can, to the mineral kingdom, because that's where the magnetism is going to draw your energy down, pull you down, bring you into alignment with the planet, with the earth. Force of gravity then is working pretty well. Otherwise, you might kind of float off somewhere like a wispy cloud or something, which I'm more than capable of doing.
Speaking of the sixth, I'm born in the 6th month of the year, Gemini, and that is an air sign. I feel it's very easy for me to be in my head, and going out into the garden barefoot is a daily practice, something I just crave. I just call it puttering around out there in nature. I just really enjoy. I hadn't really thought about my sixes ground, contacting the earth, but it's very important. So anything in nature, I feel like is very grounding.
Yeah, and when you're out in nature, connecting with all the different aspects, the trees, think about the roots of plants and trees. They go deep down into the soil. You try pushing over a tree,
Mhm.
unless it's really thin. I mean, their roots are really deep. And they're connected, they're grounded.
This time of year is so incredible to just observe nature. So all during the winter, things have been happening underground, and then they just explode in the spring, all the growth and new life. And it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. So if you've done 9, you can go on to 12. If you're all done, tell me. Otherwise, I'll hang you out for another 3. All right. The big hand's just gone past 6 on my clock. So over to you, Lisa.
Okay, so there are a couple of flows in text 2 of textbook 2, and they involve the 6 with the little toe, and they're completely different functions. But I have to say that I really don't ever do a session without doing this. It's a flow in of itself, very powerful. The one that Terry's showing on the screen right now is a deep, deep cleaner. It helps to warm the body. It's just an overall very powerful, detailed cleaner. And that, as you can see, it says center sole. So we were talking about the 6 on the side of the foot or at the arch, and then the one in the center. So this one is with uncrossed hands. So if you can, and you'd like to reach, let's just say your right foot, you're going to go with your right hand on your right center sole, so right in the middle of your foot on the bottom, the center sole, and then your left hand will hold your little toe. These two, the little toe and the 6 are great partners. So if you can comfortably reach this, it's probably a wonderful practice every day. And if not, you can simply hold your middle finger, excuse me, or your 15 and 3. And then, excuse me, and then Terry, do you want to show the other flow, the movement order of disharmony?
Really? You want me to do that? I thought you were going to do that. I'll do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually don't have the slide up.
Oh, well, I can give you the slide.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I meant the slide. So this one is called Movement Order of Disharmony. And it is a completely different action, also a very powerful flow, just this one step. It is the 6 and the little toe, only this time you're crossing your hands. So if we're still on that right foot, you want to take your right hand and go to the little toe, and your left hand to the right 6. Is that right? Let's see. So this movement, am I doing this backwards, Terry?
Yes, you were.
Sorry. Oh, because I'm looking at the,
Yeah.
I have in my notes on this, it's the opposite, okay?
Yes, that's right.
So right hand goes to the 6 and left hand goes to the little toe on this right flow.
That's
Um,
right.
So this movement order of disharmony, you can see the crosses in the body. It's different disharmonies happening at different times in life. And it moves over time, hours, days, weeks, years. This flow helps to harmonize these genetic or generational inherited projects, and helps to stop that. It's been called the hypochondriac flow. When people have something that is always hurting or always wrong with them, it helps, aches and pains from head to toe.
Well, that was a stupid, nasty thing to say. They could have fibromyalgia.
So I heard somebody talk about fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. This is a great daily flow for that. And I don't know if that comment was directed at me, and I apologize if someone took offense to it. But anyway, this is 6 and little toe, uncrossed hands. And it works with our mediator, which balances left and right in the body. And it also helps that 4th depth, which releases tension and fear, stress from our body. So you could actually have fun with these. I suppose on a self-help with your 36 aware breaths, you could do 9 breaths with your uncrossed hands, and then you could cross your hands and do 9 more on one foot, and then you could go to the other foot, crossed hands and uncrossed hands. From just to have a little fun with the 6s and see how that feels. Is anyone actually holding the 6s, holding this flow?
I am.
And if so, how does that feel?
Oh, it's perfect. My little toe is sore. Yeah, 6 isn't much better. It's perfect. Anyone else?
It's really centering to hold the center of the soul in particular.
Is that Anne?
Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's right. The center of the soul relates also to the center of the palm. So it's actually a source energy center. Safety energy lock 26 is activated in the center there. And then when you do opposite fingers and toes, you put your palm to that center 6, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And no, that's powerful. Good point.
I
Thank you.
tend to finish up sessions with one of these flows.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really thought about for a while about the grounding aspect of it, but I think that's probably where that came from and why it just feels natural at this point to finish with that. When I was talking about the aspects of the Safety Energy Lock 6, and how it helps spinal projects and other things. It reminds me of a story that one of our senior teachers, Wayne Hackett, used to tell in class. He had some kind of a back project that was very acute and painful, and he was trying all kinds of things for it. And it was persisting and persisting. And eventually somebody just, and it might have been early in his JIN SHIN JYUTSU study, somebody held this 6 and little toe, and he was annoyed and said, you know, it's my back that hurts, not my foot. Anyway, it completely transformed his back project, and he was on his way. Do you remember that story, Terry?
No, but I can understand the relationship to the back through the bladder, kidney, and the little toe. And of course, bladder, kidney go through the 6 on their journeys,
Right.
at one level or another, although it's more kidney probably going through the 6. Just wanted to say, Phil, you were asking, I saw that comment in the chat, were we still holding the center 6? Not necessarily for the movement order of disharmony, but you know, these safety energy locks are the diameter of the palm of your hand. I probably forgot to mention that today. So whatever feels comfortable, whatever you know, feels tender, go for it. The intention will be important, you know, just, well, I'm working this particular flow.
Terry, can I say something about this flow?
Who's that?
This is Carol.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. I can't see you. I can see a tree, or is that a book?
Right, I know, I'm a little bit, I'm involved with the flow. But anyway, my left 6 has been hurting a lot. I'm hurting, and is it the left? Yeah, left 6, and I'm holding the left little toe. But my right neck has been hurting a lot too. So I'm, you know, it's I'm hoping this is gonna, it looks like in the diagram, it can move through the right neck area.
The left pirouetting all the way around to the right, yes.
I'm
Correct.
hopeful.
Although that is actually more to do with the movement order of disharmony. In terms of the 6s, and Lisa, correct me if I'm misunderstanding here, when we subdivide the body into bust line, waistline, hip line, we can do that on the feet, and 6 represents waistline, and 12 represents waistline, side of the neck. And I think I was always under the impression that it was same side 6 and same side 12, but I may be misunderstanding that. Do you have a take on that, whether it's same side or opposite, or it's supervisor? Maybe it's just that.
Same side as far as I know.
Yeah.
Unless there's a mediator connection, but
Yeah.
that's not striking a
Yeah.
chord with me at the moment.
Good question, Carol.
Okay.
That's funny seeing that bush. I straight away went to Monty Python, where they have that scene where the bush blows up.
It's a beautiful magnolia tree here in Lincoln, Mass. That is
Oh,
blooming.
yeah. You can tell what JIN SHIN does for me. Yeah.
So we have a little guest today, one of Terry's favorite.
Oh,
This is,
okay.
I'm
Stop the
sorry, but
share.
he just appeared, so we were going to save this till the end, but this is JIN SHIN Jasper, who is complete love. But I
Oh,
wanted to demonstrate the 6 on an animal. So not that this is an animal class, but I was noticing as I was talking to Terry yesterday on Zoom that as I held Jasper 6, he just sort of melted in my arms. Just holding his little foot. If I hold him up, he's not going to like it, but I'll show you. So the 6 is here. Wait, here we go. On the inner side
yeah,
of his foot
yeah.
is his 6. And when I just put my hand around it gently and hold, he loves that. So anyway, I feel like all living creatures love to feel harmony, and this little
Look
guy
at
has
that.
full
Look
acceptance.
at that. He's not asleep, but he's more centered now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Jasper. Jasper?
I actually tried holding his 6 and little toe yesterday. He wasn't so fond of me, you know, holding his little toe, but he did enjoy the 6. So anyway, thank you,
Yeah,
Jasper, for
I
your
mean,
guest.
folks, to be honest, those of you that have experienced the little toe will know you could be scraping yourself off the ceiling because the most tender pathway tends to be bladder, kidney in the body. It's also, interestingly, at least to me, the last function that gives up in the body. So it's the great supporter. It the kidney bladder, they're bringing in that ancestral chi energy and keeps us going with that boost from our ancestors as well. And subsequently, it's the last energy to kind of slow down and pack up. Anyway, I don't know why I went there. Back to you, Lisa.
Well, there's some deep tension that can accumulate in the little toe for sure. And there are stories of Mary getting in there and on people and tears flowing and such. Tears also relating to the bladder flow. But,
Tears for Fears, that
but
great
yeah, if you
game.
want to just play around in there, I've been having a little bit of a hip project myself, and I had a session the other day, and we have a special flow for hip projects, and it involves cleaning out the toes. And she says, may pain, however, basically clean them out. And the practitioner working on me really had no mercy, and I just have never felt, I had no awareness that I was carrying so much tension in my toes, but especially that little one. But anyway, it is powerful, and I mean, you don't have to squeeze, but just, keep at it. Even just holding it, it will release. But anyway, very, very good partners with this balancer, the Safety Energy Lock 6.
Perfect.
I would
see.
say the 6 and little toe would be the perfect quickie for that hip project of mine, or really releasing tension, back tension or hip tension. Don't you think, Terry?
Yeah, I was thinking, if anyone is on the table and they haven't paid the rent, you just go into the little toe.
I discovered a miracle for taking pain out of the ankles and the feet and the toes from a physical therapist. The lymph, to empty the lymph, you massage upward, whereas I've always been massaging downward, which makes my ankles swell, but massaging upwards and draining the lymph, behind the knee and in the groin, were miracles for what was a sprained ankle and a very painful, all down there where it was swelling.
Yeah. Tom kindly, most of you should have received the lymph flow that Tom sent to me. Yeah, the lymph energy, I mean, it's the fatigue flow, basically. Although, let's go back to Carol. Are you there? Carol? Oh, she's unmuted. She's muted. Yeah, have you heard this, anybody? Lisa? 26 flow?
I'm here. Did you call me?
Well, yeah, I was going to pick up on what you said about the 26 flow and the lymph. I hadn't heard that before. I could work it out if I saw where, the safety energy locks are and everything, and the lymph in the armpit, Had you heard that? Was it like the director you said, Carol, for the lymph flow?
Yeah, I think I quoted you. The book is right here. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. I know the flow that you're referencing, but I was just checking with others. Lisa, have you heard that, the 26 flow? Yeah.
Yes, and Philomena used to say, to help lymph function and really as a sort of a cancer prevention, simply hold your 26s. Do you remember that?
No.
30 years ago, she was saying that.
Yeah, it's time I went and dusted down a few of the old books that I wrote in, I guess. Yeah, some stuff holds, sticks, and some doesn't anymore. But you know, that little toe, as you can tell from what Lisa's been talking about and describing, and the kidney bladder connection and the fatigue flow, anything really can be harmonized by the toe flows generally, the regeneration flows, kidney, liver, spleen. But most people have really tight little toes. And if you do combine them with the 6, because they used to call us in TM space cadets, because, you know, we would meditate and then we wouldn't ground ourselves. Everything was beautiful. Everything in the garden was lovely, and it is. But there was no discernment. So back to 6.
Right.
Discernment. Everything in
Right.
the garden is in duality until you're in the 5th dimension fully. Back to you, Lisa.
Well, so
Or
we
Jasper.
talked about the 6th little toe, the 2, we call those special body functions, and they're in the JIN SHIN JYUTSU textbooks. Very powerful, both for yourself and for others. We had our guest star, Jasper, and I believe that we just were going to look at or see if there are any questions, right, Terry?
Yeah.
Questions on any of this?
Yeah, let's shall I go into gallery view so we can see everybody? And see. Now those that show their face get a bonus. I'll tell you what that is one day. But well,
Okay.
okay, so here we are. Here is the crew today. And I cannot see the lady that wrote to me, who I thought was new. Is there anyone absolutely, totally, utterly confused, lost, bemused, because they're brand new, never done anything like this before?
I have to go.
Ah. Oh, that makes life a little more easy, doesn't it? Everyone knows. Wait a minute, Winnie. Fire away, Winnie.
Oh, look, I'm miserable with sciatica. It's not on the topic, but I throw something at me.
Yeah, bladder flow will help. Spleen flow will help.
Oh,
Any
So-
additions, Lisa? Sciatica? Nerves, you know, nerves are governed by, in JIN SHIN JYUTSU, Chinese medicine, by 1st and 4th depth. So any 1st and 4th depth flow is where I go if someone comes with sciatica.
You know, I kind of had forgotten this, but the 6 is the spinal aligner. It's a spinal alignment specialist. So maybe explore that if you can comfortably. If you're too uncomfortable to hold your 6, that's fine. You know, even the first step of the self-help bladder flow, or 15 and 11, 15 and 25. Or holding a finger, holding your index finger. Any other fingers that you would recommend for sciatica, Terry?
Middle finger.
Yeah.
Philomena had doing the, you know, the 1 and the 2, in other words, doing descending and ascending and getting that flowing well before you do some of the sciatica flows or the back of leg flow.
Yeah, well, I guess Philomena's likely to be thinking similar to Mary. So, like, you create an escape route before you deal. That's a whole topic in itself, escape routes. But yeah, Tom, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. Any other questions? You can, you know, focus them all at Lisa, because she really wants to hear them. I'm sorry.
Well, one of the things about holding the little toe in the center of the sole or the sixth, whichever part, is that we can also just use our opposite hand and do an opposite fingers to toes on that side while we're also holding the six in the center or on the edge.
That's true.
Yeah.
Often when there's something in a flow that says hold the little finger, I just do the whole opposite hand.
That covers all the depths, and if you can find a nice comfortable position to do that with your legs up, sitting on the floor or on a chair or whatever, it feels great.
Yeah, that's a great observation, and that opposite fingers and toes flow. Yeah, if you haven't got a finger or you haven't got a toe, you can go to one or the other, you know, and it will eventually reach the toe or the finger that needs help. And at the opposite correlation, it will reach that a lot quicker than the same side. Although you can do opposite fingers, same side. That's supervisor. When you're doing this is mediator. But you can do that same side. Yeah. Anyway. Any more questions from anyone? Or forever hold your peace? Peace is good. Oh, Lisa, I'm terrible. I should.
I had a question. Has anyone heard of systematic desensitization for use with pain in the body? My physical therapist.
Makes sense. What were they doing? Were they holding different muscles or maybe even different energy locks, whether they knew or not, and gradually desensitizing muscle groups? Is that what they're doing?
No, they were desensitizing pain by using tactile and feeling different senses that would work in that area where the pain is, and then as you slowly feel that, the pain decreased for neuropathy. And
so they're relating the area where the pain is to one of the senses, like sight or something. Is that what you're saying?
touch, fabric.
Oh, just touch. Okay.
I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just learning it. It's brand new. I know we've used it for fear, and fear of flying classes that we put on with United, where systemized desensitization of the fear of heights. You start with a 1-inch block and work your way up to being in an airplane.
I was a massage therapist for 7 years or something before I started studying JIN SHIN JYUTSU some 30 years ago. But at some level, Tom, it feels like touch in itself is that. And when you approach the body and you start touching it, if you're respectful and you listen to what it's asking for, what it can tolerate, the touch does start to desensitize the nervous system, it seems like.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And any kind of aware touch, whether it's including JIN SHIN JYUTSU. So I think a practitioner who is tuning in to that body, it does, and it happens pretty quickly. The sensitization of because you were asking in the chat about the nerves, the nervous system, nerve endings.
Yeah, I think it's connecting to the mitochondria.
When the PT comes back again, because he's only been here once, he's very good PhD with the modern stuff, and I'm 50 years old. I mean, mine's out of date, but he said the nerve endings, like there's 3 buttons that do the pain, and then if you can turn off, 2 or all 3 of them, then the pain isn't there, which makes sense, but I haven't heard that 50 years ago. We were back psychology before they invented rats.
Well, I like the science of it and the machines and all that, but it also just seems really innate to just touch the body and allow all those things to happen, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, right?
Well said.
Well, you know, sometimes I'll go and see a chiropractor and other modalities. They can be very effective, but yeah, JIN SHIN JYUTSU in itself is complete for sure.
Yeah.
If that's where you were coming from, Lisa. Mickey, I saw your hand up earlier. You're still here. Did you want to say anything? Mickey?
I wanted to comment that when I was going to school as a massage therapist,
Oh, okay.
can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you could be a little louder, but
Okay, so one of the things that was mentioned in class is that if we're having trouble moving the energy in a muscle, because that was hands-on and there was no, I didn't know Jin Shin then, so it was okay. So the thigh, the energy wasn't moving, so you go to the gluteus max, go to the buttocks and smooth out the energy and make room for the energy to come up from the thigh. So that was, the movement of energy. So that was, when Mary would say, before you do this flow, do this one to clear.
a pathway.
Yeah, to clear the pathway. That made a lot of sense, to make space for the energy to move into another area and continue. And I also
Yeah.
wanted to comment.
Yeah, no, that's good information, and another perspective from certain aspects of, the Oriental medicine is actually that the healing takes place in the space. Think about that one. It's the gap. It's not, we place our hands on the safety energy locks and we activate them to move the energy, but it's actually the space between them that is actually doing the work. Interesting. Think about that one. I've been ruminating on that one myself. But it makes sense because at space level, if you're thinking ninth depth, that is everything. It contains everything. So maybe, between the two hands, the power is much more present. So that's where the healing actually happens. Maybe something worth thinking about. I don't know. What do you think, Lisa?
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think maybe Winnie is gone.
Is she?
But I was going to mention that about the back of leg flow.
Oh, yes.
Looked at it. I can't quite remember whether it's an easy self-help to do, but the tension is from the opposite shoulder. That's the cause of the sciatica. So
Right.
even at that level, working on the 11 and 15, 11, 25, and releasing that opposite neck and shoulder would help sciatica at some level.
Yeah, maybe she'll watch the replay, or maybe I'll drop her a line and say watch the replay, or have a look at the back of the leg flow. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I always forget that one. I guess to me it's fairly similar to the bladder flow in the sense of where it's going, both sides. So I don't know. Okay, anybody else got any questions, any comments? We come up to the hour, we've gone beyond the hour. Next week, we will have another guest, and then we're going to change the timings of Harmonize2Energize to the second and fourth Thursday of the month, and that'll begin with Manjita and I on the second, and then the fourth, I don't know. But, oh, yes, I do. Yes, there is another presenter. So there's that change. But next week, there's another guest. And I just want to say thank you to Lisa and Jasper for
having
joining.
me, Terry, and thank you to all for attending. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always a great pleasure to have a guest, and I've known Lisa for many years, and she has a lot of experience. Did you want to say anything about any classes coming up or anything, Lisa?
Actually, I am having an in-person, hosting an in-person class in San Diego, May 17th, 18th, 19th with Cynthia Broshi, and it is a pulse listening class. Nothing but pulse listening, and it's actually Cynthia's last one. She's going to be retiring. So if
Oh,
you're anywhere in the vicinity and have any interest in that, we have couple few slots left, but she's amazing at that. And then I'm also organizing a 5-day online for Susie. Anybody can attend that because it's virtual, and that is, I believe it's starts May 3rd for 5 days. And then we're having a hands-on retreat in the fall in October. Just a small group, but it's so much fun with Sarah and Blythe. If anybody's interested, just reach out, and I should put my my email in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I reduce the input of Harmonize2Energize, I might have mentioned, if I didn't, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to start introducing, there'll be some fee-paying classes where we may specialize in certain things. I'm personally thinking, I haven't discussed this completely with people that are maybe going to join me, facilitators, but we may go for small groups and offer subjective approach to their harmonizing, ask them what they need, and take it from there. So something to look forward to. Change, in my view, most of the time is healthy and fresh and good. And it's the time, I was saying to Lisa earlier, I tend largely to work by my intuition. I don't plan too far ahead. I kind of wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, that was a really good idea. And I get a pencil and I write it down, and then it becomes something. That's how it's always been, by and large, for me. And that's what came to me, that it was time for Harmonize2Energize to go down to just two a month, and then start introducing different topics, different subjects, with, you know, a reasonable charge, because there will be other instructors involved. I'm hoping Lisa will join me at some point. Thais Shabela has said that she'll come along, Beth Lendrum, and people that some of you are familiar with, and if you're not, they're all excellent practitioners. And so we'll develop a different thrust, and I'll send you all the information. And if you're interested, you'll join us. All right. Well, thanks again, Lisa. Where did Jasper go?
Oh, he's gone. I just wanted to mention one more thing if we have time. So if you haven't discovered by now, which you may have, JIN SHIN JYUTSU is a lifelong journey of studying and learning, and the awareness has never ceased to keep unfolding. So with our new world that we have in the last few, where we're studying online, there's always a place to learn online, which I think is great. But that does not encompass the hands-on. And whether or not you are brand new at this or a very seasoned practitioner, hands-on is wonderful. So it seems like maybe we're moving into a world where we study both online and we don't have to leave our homes. And also we go for some amount of some hands-on where we can both receive and learn and study that aspect of it. They're both really important. So I just wanted to add that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great point. Yes, I think in the future there'll be that sense of a balance with online and offline, and the hands-on, of course. And also, you know, there was a time with JIN SHIN JYUTSU that they would do 5 days, or at least it was proposed to do 5 days of hands-on. The only thing I would say about that is anyone who's done any 5-day classes may have found themselves after day 2 or 3 just that can also happen with hands-on. If you do two sessions a day, which is brilliant and beautiful, around about day 3, I used to notice at the office, people either exploded and all the stuff that had been waiting to come out just came to the surface, and they were going to, you know, throttle somebody, or they were just extremely tired. So back to harmony, back to 6, back to balance, it's all about that. And personally, the way I would like to create future classes is around that 6 energy, because I know people can only absorb so much. And I think it's also useful to have review sessions and mentoring. Mentoring was always very successful with the JIN SHIN JYUTSU office, but maybe some of you would like one-on-one or two-on-one, and that's something to think about too. Any last words? Not final, last.
Does Lisa have a website?
Do you have a website, Lisa?
Not yet. I am really the last of the dinosaurs who
I
has
know, I'm one as well.
yet, but I'm working on the idea of it. Hopefully sometime this year. Yeah,
Did you put your email in there?
yes, I did. Yeah,
Is
I've
your
been organizing-
email
Yeah, I'm sorry.
with your first name and last, is your email with your first name and last name, or is it just with JSJSD?
Yeah, JIN SHIN JYUTSU San Diego at iCloud. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my email. So
Thank
yes, thank you for reminding me that having a web presence is pretty much